welcome. You're watching Your Money Matters here at NDTV Profit. I'm Mahima Vachhajani. Today, we're going to talk about two interesting topics. The first one being, if you have filed your tax return with a refund and still not gotten your refund, and still there's a question mark as to why that is happening. We're going to talk to Gauri Chadha, a tax expert, regarding this. And the second interesting conversation that we're going to have is that now that 2025 is ending with a market consolidation, stepping into 2026, what should you as an investor keep in mind? But first, let's take it forward with Gauri Chadha, who's a tax expert, joining us now. Gauri, a very good evening to you, and thank you so much for taking out the time, and festive season greetings to you and your family. My first question.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. My first question to you is, which probably a lot of our viewers will be having, is that a lot of refunds are right now stuck, despite of filing the returns on time. The refunds have not been received on time. What could be the possible reasons, and what is the kind of recourse that he or she has?
Unlike last year, this year, if you will see, majority cases have been put on hold and the refund is getting delayed. In fact, the processing of refund is also getting delayed. Now, few reasons could be normal, ordinary reasons, like probably you only forgot to e-verify your return and the return has been declared invalid. Probably the refund was issued, but your bank validation failed. And one reason could be that there was outstanding demand from the previous financial years. The same has been adjusted against this year's refund. Now, all of this can be checked on the portal. But these are the normal reasons. Every year you see, such reasons happening, and because of which the refund fails or doesn't get credited to your bank account. But this year, being an exceptional year, you will see a lot of scrutiny cases and a lot of communications from the department's end being given to the taxpayers. So scrutiny notices, of course, again, ordinary course, people with high value transactions or maybe some red flag transactions do come in. But now this year, there has been a communication from the department's end, which says that if you have filed for any claim, deduction, exemption, or you have made any high value transaction, the same has been reported, you need to check your return and you need to revise your return till 31st of December. And if you don't do it and the department issues notices because of that, you'll have to pay the interest, tax and penalty whatsoever. Now, so this year is exceptional. Now you have to go check your return. If everything seems fine, the department has clarified that in case there is no error from the taxpayer's end, you can ignore this communication because this is just a communication and not a notice. But if there is any discrepancy from taxpayer's end, the last date to revise your return is 31st December. And if you don't revise it till 31st December, you can file updated return from 1st of January. But in that case, your penalty would be higher.
Okay. Gauri, do you think there is any particular amount of limit post which these refunds are not getting processed? From what my understanding is that anywhere above 50,000 or above 1 lakh rupees is where the refunds are getting stuck, and the scrutiny is real there.
There is no particular figure which has been declared by the government, by the income tax department, but according to my analysis, anything above 10,000 is being stuck. Probably more when the figure is above 50,000 or 1 lakh. And there's a lot of communications from the department's end where you have purchased a property or have incurred any high value transaction, even though the purchase of property transactions are not to be reported in the income tax return until you are claiming some exemption. So if I am buying a property out of my own tax paid money over the years, I am not liable to show that in the return anywhere. But in such cases also, there has been a communication. So any high value transaction is being reported and is being communicated to the taxpayers, and refund anywhere between above 10,000, 50,000, 1 lakh is being held up. And again, you have to check your portal. You have to check if there is any discrepancy. If not, your refund would be released soon, hopefully.
Okay. Okay, hopefully, yeah. Gauri, with regards to the refunds that have still not been processed, when can we expect these refunds to be process? Is there a timeline in place? I mean, because there is a kind of interest that the department pays, of course, because of your delay in refund. But when can these viewers expect the refunds? Of course, there's no timeline as such there in the fine print, but any particular timeline that you are hearing around or of that sorts?
Legally, the returns are supposed to be processed by end of next year, which is a long period. But normally, until last year, the returns were being processed within a week or 2 weeks. So this year, the period is quite long. The wait has been quite long. After this communication, which was sent by the income tax department to the taxpayers, it has been said that till 31st December, you can revise your return. I'm expecting, and there was a brief mention also in the communication that after that the refunds will be released. So we can assume that after 31st December the refunds would be released. And in case you revise your return, I believe then the processing would be faster. But that doesn't mean that you have to revise in any case. Revise your return only if there is any discrepancy. If everything is fine, just let it be because the department has clarified regarding this also. So just don't do anything. If there is no discrepancy, everything is fine, let it be. Next month onwards, I think the refunds would be processed.
Okay, Gauri, do you think that this kind of delay, which is a one-off this year, or this can be continued going forward as well, since the department is becoming more cautious with regards to, a lot of declarations made in 10AA or a lot of donations which are being suspicious? Do you think that this could continue going forward as well in other assessment years as well?
I think this was one of a kind year. Until last year, this issue was not there. Now, in this year, a lot of communications have been sent. I believe that the old regime should be should be taken out of the act, and people who are still opting for old regime should stop opting for old regime now because there are a lot of challenges with this regime and notices are being issued as well as the communication is being given, especially when you are claiming ATG deduction and any other deduction.
Gauri, with regards to this entire refund getting delayed, is there a checklist in place that one should keep in mind before filing their income tax return so that it doesn't happen with them?
Yes, of course, while you are filing your return, I believe that you really need to check your AIS and 26AS. In case there is any mismatch between AIS and 26AS, you will definitely get a notice and you definitely will not get your refund. Forget in time, you will not get it only if there is any mismatch. So your AIS 26AS bank statements. So because a lot of entries are there which are not mentioned in AIS and 26AS. So that entry should be verified from your bank statements. So in totality, you should not leave any income, even if it is not taxable, it is exempt from income tax, the reporting is to be done. So when you check everything, all your TDS deductions, all your reportings, which the income tax department is letting you know through AIS and 26AS, I think you will be safe. Apart from that, because this year things have been a little different, the utilities were released quite late. The timeline was extended. The due date was extended from 31st July till 15th September. Then the period to revise the return was also less compared to last year. So I think this has been an exceptional year. And going forward, the department would release the utilities in time and the time given for revised return would be more. So I believe from next year onwards, this issue should not be there. Moreover, we are hoping that there is some kind of amendments in the old regime. Maybe it gets faded out or it gets easier because it is causing a lot of trouble to the taxpayers who are still opting for the old regime.
I think that's also a concern, right, Gauri? Because a lot of people who are, opting out of old scheme, going to the new regime, or opting out of new regime, going to the old regime, that is also causing a confusion with regards to that Form 10 IEA which needs to be filed. So I think viewers need to keep in mind when they're switching from old to new or new to old, and make sure that the 10 IE is filed in order to file your next return, because that is going to be an important part as well while filing your return. So because that number that you get in 10 IE is also required in the return that you're filing. So that's with regards to everything that you need to know if your refund is not processed. Gauri, thank you so much for taking out the time and getting us understand as to what this means exactly, and helping our viewers who have probably not got the refund and will get their refund soon. So thank you so much for taking out the time and speaking with us at NDTV Profit.